Just like a spark that's breaking out. Can't make a stop, can't turn back now. We know that there's no room for doubt. No, we can't turn back now. I see danger in your eyes. They know we'll burn down the night. Only just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to WreckTalk. And I notice I've got my WreckTalk hat here. You can't see it too well because that yellow is a little too green, and my green screen thinks it's part of the green screen. So I'll tell you what we do. There you go. Easily fixed. Speaking of that, if you would like a WreckTalk hat, and it's a great investment. The minute you put this on your head, women are going to surround you. They're going to want to go home with you. That's why I don't wear it that much, because, I only have so much time. I got to do shows at some point, right? Let's go up through the chat here. Buzz Talk with Face Zach. What's going on, buddy? I saw you put out a video today, I think a preview. That was a good video. If y'all aren't subscribed to Buzz, go subscribe to him, the newest member of our little creator community here. John Burns says, let's go bowling. That's right. And I'm not talking about Wii bowling. I'm talking about college football bowling. That's right. David says, Rick, are you going to doing any tailgating? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sorry about that. CJ says, yo, Rec, I got to tell you something hilarious. And he says Jeff Collins blocked him. Can I block Jeff Collins, or do I have to? Let me see. Let me do something preemptively. Jeff Collins, where are you? Coach Jeff Collins. Can I block him? I can. But I actually want to keep up with all the trash talk he does against Tech. The day might come where we block him. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the season. We'll turn the page on old Jeff. We'll move on from him. But that's kind of like a rite of passage as a Tech fan, is being blocked by Jeff Collins. Collins is a vagina. That is true. I don't know if he is one. He definitely has one, though. That's just a fact. Anyone who has people chasing pool noodles around at practice and thinks that is going to help in any way with the execution of football is a chick. Does that not sound like something a chick would do? 100% it does. It's a rhetorical question. I know the answer to it. Anthony Fain says, I wouldn't think it would be very effective to call last-minute unofficial whiteout. Well, it's official, isn't it? I mean, the official Georgia Tech college football Twitter put it out. And even more official than that, Patience Veach posted about it. So That's about as official as it gets. That's like a notarized document, pretty much. Her tweets, as it pertains to tech. You think Collins is at a Waffle House right now? Do you think he's turned his back on Waffle House and hating them like he does tech? You think he just threw the baby out with the bathwater? Coffee Killa says, "Sup, fam? Glad to finally make it back to a live show. Glad you're in here, man. Glad to have you." Ved says, "Hey-yo, hey-yo, listen what Veyo say-yo." Or Ved, sorry. Sorry. Whisper in here. Roscoe Dash is doing the hell of a block party this weekend. I wish. I don't know who it is this week. I know for the Georgia game it's Ludacris, and that's right in my growing up wheelhouse when he hit it big. I'm a man. I'm 40. I know about Ludacris. Before we dive into it, guys. I messed things up by doing this. Hold on. I messed things up. No, I didn't. All right. Before we get into this, what happened the last time we had a night game at the Dodd? Does anyone remember? And we're buffering. Why is my stream's not buffering? I just wanted to do this. Can I not do this? I thought this would be really slick and cool, but this is why we can't have nice things, Internet. This is why we can't have nice things. Now I have to scrolling. Keep that scroll wheel scrolling. I'm close. I know I'm close. That's the same thing. That's not it. This is it.
Can paint this skyline gold tonight, Jackets. Another year, another upset. It is a beautiful night with the best backdrop in college football, and we welcome you home. Homecoming Saturday night at Bobby Dodd Stadium as your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets look to win for a third straight year over the number 17 North Carolina Tar Heels.
Together! All of us together! Do your job!
Hot left side, Rutherford slips the tackle 30, cuts inside and is off. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Jackets! Deep drop, throws the wheel down the left side, has the man caught at the 5, touchdown Jackets! Brett Seither! Pulls the handoff, rifles it right, Rutherford cuts inside, 5, dives into the end zone, touchdown Jackets!
Snap, spot, kick from Burr is perfect. Aiden Burr from 40 yards ends the half. Haynes again, trying to take white shirts with him, and does for the touchdown.
Hand off to Smith, buster right through the hole, 45-50, he's in the clear.
Let's go, Dante.
Zone, touchdown, 70 yards to the house. Here's the snap. King goes to the air. Darting outside the pocket, still looking into the end zone. Tries to reverse his field. Now throws to the back line. Is it caught? Referees conferring. No signal yet. Was it caught by Seither? Touchdown, Jackets!
Then that fourth quarter, y'all score all those points. You're moving the ball at will. Was it video game-like? I mean, what did it feel like when you guys are doing that?
It was tech-like.
That's what happened the last played at the Dodd at night, because that's what we do. That is tech-like. Yeah, they get me going too, Buzz. They get me going too. So, whiteout tomorrow, 8 p.m. I will be there. I know you guys will be there. I know a lot of you will be there. It's a great environment. It's an absolute must-win game for the most part if we're going to make a bowl. We need to go ahead and clinch this thing up right now. Saturday night, we need to take care of business. We need to win a game when we're supposed to win a game. We're 6.5-point favorites. I think the line opened up at 8.5. And I talked with Papa Wreck last night. I don't know that Syracuse has been this gimmicky offensively all year. By the way, Mystic in the Discord, if you're not a part of the Discord, there's a link for that in the description. He has a ticket. He needs someone to go with. If you're looking for a ticket and you want to go, there's no excuse. Join the Discord, reach out to Mystic Gaming, because he's got one for you. I don't think Syracuse has been this gimmicky most of the year. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go watch every Syracuse game from the year, from this season. Evidently, Garrett Schrader, Syracuse quarterback, had surgery on his elbow. I believe it was his throwing arm elbow. He's taken some massive hits. And I don't know how official it is. I don't know where Papa Wreck got this from. I guess the reason they run this gimmicky stuff is because he's re-injured that throwing arm. To me, based on what he said, it seems like a rotator cuff. Evidently, he can't throw it more than like 10 yards. He can't, they can't throw it downfield. I think, was it Carlos Del Rio is their backup, but I guess they seem better suited to just run their wide receiver at quarterback against Pitt, especially when they're going to turn the ball over 4 times on you. If that's true, and we lose, we know, unless they have a quarterback not named Schrader in, we don't deserve to go to a bowl. We should be able to go out and handle business Saturday. Yeah. He can do backflips, which also requires, I don't know if it's a rotator cuff. When you have a rotator cuff injury, though, because I've had one, you can't raise your arm higher than shoulder level. I think your rotator cuff's right on the top here. Which you have to do that to do a backflip. So that seems really stupid. It seems theatrical, a lot of pageantry for no reason. Coach Key in the house says, if we win, you can come chill on the field with me. I'll be looking for you. You know, when I got your autograph, you didn't say you know who I was, but I know you do. I know you do now. So, I'm not just going to bloviate and talk about this. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link out. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about this game? If we lose and miss a bowl, would that be under your expectation? I guess speak to what are your expectations for this year? Have they been met to this point? What are your expectations in the last 2 or possibly 3 games? So I'll drop the link in the chat. Click on that link. It's easy. You're at work, Buzz. I got you. Click the link and tell me what you think. You like that? I want to hear what you guys think tonight. Everyone knows what I think. I mean, how many hours of content do I put out a week? Who is the imposter posing as Coach Brent Key? That's Brent Key. That's the Brent Key. He said he's not on social media, but for Rec, he will make an exception. Makes me think of The Equalizer. I told a woman I love I'd put that life behind me. But for you, random-looking Russian dude, I'm going to make an exception. Harrison Chan says he was expecting 6 wins. Still possible? I don't know what 47 is. Only imposters are Georgia Tech fans who don't believe it's me, says Coach Key. I hear you. I said I thought we would. I'll tell you what my expectations are. And honestly, this has probably been the most emotionally tumultuous season of my Georgia Tech fandom career. I had pretty lofty expectations coming into this season because I didn't know the step back we were going to take on defense. 47 hours of content, yeah. It's probably around 10 on a good week. I'll give you that. I didn't know the step back our defense was gonna take. I predicted 7 wins, which is not impossible. Now I predicted it in the regular season, not including a bowl. I said 7-5, which is still technically possible. And look, as far as Georgia, like I've said, whatever happens, happens. I'm focused on Syracuse. You know, it's going to be great to have a night game playing our rival. I just want to play competitively. I want to win the game, obviously. It's not really my concern. Goal 1 is to make a bowl. My expectations were really 7 wins. I mean, I think I spoke honestly with that. And you can talk coulda, shoulda, woulda. We should have beat Louisville, right? Or we should have been able to beat Bowling Green. We didn't, though. We didn't. And really, the details are not super important. That's what I love about Key. I haven't watched any of the press conference this week. I'm sorry if you can hear it in my voice. I'm still trying to get to the bottom of this sickness hill. I think I'm over the top of it. I've been trying to rest my voice. But one thing I like about Key is his mentality of we're here to win or lose football games. At the end of the day, it's a results-driven business, just like whatever you do for a career. It's a results-driven business. If your company is not profitable, and let's say your team is, it doesn't matter. Just like in football, if the offense has 600 yards of offense and you lose, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is winning and losing. And that's what Brent Key brings to the table. I love that after a loss, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get a clip or something from him. He's going to be pissed. If you're a member of the channel, by the way, there's a join button right below the title of the video for that, and there's a link in the description of the video if you want to become a member. Except for this week when I've been sick, I react to all of those. And in a member's video, I paused it. I said, look at Brent Key. It was after the Clemson loss. And I said, this is what losing looks like. This is what losing should look like. It shouldn't be, well, gee, gosh, pontificate and throw some jargon around and this good old boy talk. We lost the football game. Does it matter that you got blown out? Not really. It still counts as a loss. If you get blown out, it doesn't count as a loss and a half. If you blow someone out, it doesn't count as a win and a half. Get the win. And that should be the message going into Saturday. All that matters is you do your job that contributes to winning. Why do you do your job? Because it contributes to winning. If you don't do your job, if everyone on a play, let's say on defense, grades out 100, an A, and one guy grades out a 0, an F, blows coverage for a touchdown, doesn't matter, does it? Everyone has to do their job. That's what frustrated me with Collins. Oh, yeah, but he was running 20 miles an hour or something. Who cares? Who cares? If the guy runs 14 miles an hour and does his job, that's what's important. Get the win. Tech fans are desperate to get to a bowl. That's what we need to do. Handle business in a primetime slot. It's going to be on ACC Network. They're already set up if you saw the pre-show photos. Handle business. Buzz with the $5 super chat says, I was expecting 7-5, thought we'd beat Boston College and Bowling Green, pull off an upset versus Miami or UNC. Ended up doing both of those things, coincidentally. I was 100% wrong. Well, based on that, you were 75% wrong. 7-5 still possible, but not likely. Yeah. This is true. John Burns says, I believed we would win 8. We'd be 8-4. I got you. Coach Key or not, just go win, man. I will be there. Go Jackets. Collins made me second guess my love of Waffle House. Yeah. Now, putting last week behind you, it no longer matters. What do we need to do this week? Well, Syracuse is a flawed team. Oh, my mic audio is really quiet. Do I still have Discord open? I don't. Whenever I have Discord open, it automatically cranks my mic down. Sorry about that. Hold on. Something else is cranking my mic down now. Huh. I think we're good. And here we go. Yeah, I saw it was cranked down. Offensively, you got to get back on track. And offensively, you got to be able to run the football. I do think we have good balance on offense. I don't think we have good balance in the passing game, though. I've harped on this. Why does this keep happening? Why? What is, cranking my mic down? Hold on. I think it was StreamYard. I paid for StreamYard for a month. And just as an aside, instead of canceling something, just change your card or something. There are services you can get that gives you a digital card you can cancel at any time. And that's the best way to go. Why? Because F them. That's why. There's no such thing as consumer friendly anymore. Unless you pay for a WreckTalk membership. Because I do think that's worth $5 a month. Other than that, pretty much no such thing as consumer friendly. I'm a man of the people. Got to stop with the wide receiver screens on I would love to see some crossing routes and running back. I'm not even saying we got to stop wide receiver screens. I don't understand why we don't run like more traditional screens. Someone brought up tunnel screens. Like if you must run your screen with a wide receiver, you want it in his hands because he's the fastest guy on the field. Run a tunnel screen that comes back across the middle of the field. Run a screen with your running back. If they're just going to pin their ears back and blitz everyone 80% of the time, why would you screen on the perimeter away from the blitz and toward where they're more stable defensively? This is what I don't understand with it. I've said before, the reasoning with that is to get them on their toes at cornerback and at linebacker or the nickel that comes over, and then throw a wheel behind it. We haven't really been able to dial up that. It's like an NCAA 14. Those are connected plays. They're setup plays, but we haven't been able to dial up that setup play on the wheel or something downfield off of it, like a hitch and go. Too often. We did it with Seether against North Carolina. You saw that in the clip after it took me 45 minutes to find it. But again, I want to hear, what you guys have to say. Don't be shy. I'll be nice. We got to get Haynes King running the ball. Haynes King having negative yards rushing is a big part of things not working out well last week. Defensively, Power Tech, member of the channel, says, my granddaughter came home from Georgia Southern today. She is going to the game with me tomorrow. Last time she came was Clemson 2014 when we won, the last time we won. Tomorrow will be a great day. Yes, there's also a guy that lives in New York State somewhere. He doesn't live in New York City, but he lives somewhere in the state of New York. I saw him on Twitter that says he's going to be coming to the game. Elijah something. So shout out to him. That's going to be great. Buzz with the $5 says, his keys to victory: stop the quarterback run, force the Syracuse O gimmick to mess up. Haynes King has to have a successful game. This is true. We've got our first caller, Mike Doug. How are you, sir?
Doing great, buddy. How the hell are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Been a while since you called in. I haven't taken as many callers lately, though. How are you, sir?
Good. Hey, man, you can't jinx this, buddy. You and C-Dog, you need to stream the Syracuse game.
I mean, maybe I can, trick fate. What if I just had my phone on me and streamed it? Well, I guess I'd have to be near C-Dog, and I'm not 100% sure where I know I'll be at the game. I don't know 100% where I'll be yet. But, yeah, we're, 4-1 streaming? Or we're 4-0. We're undefeated streaming.
Exactly my point.
Man, I mean, it even trumped the loss-win voodoo. I mean, that's pretty strong.
Were you at the North Carolina game?
No. We streamed it.
Okay. Did you see?
Yeah, we streamed that together.
The Miami game?
We streamed it together. Wake Forest, we streamed it together.
So, dude, you can't mess with it. I don't know, superstition, jinx, curse. I don't know. You just can't mess with that. You need to be there.
I mean, come to think of it, I was at Louisville. I was at Bowling Green. I was at Boston College. I think those are the ones I've been to, other than I went to Ole Miss. I went to Clemson. I drove there, or Papa Wreck did. But let me ask you this. What were your realistic expectations coming into the season, and how does it line up today?
Oh, it was 9-3.
You really expected us to go 9-3 this year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So this is a little bit of a disappointment, or maybe more than a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than Jeff Collins.
This is true. That's indisputable.
I asked you this last week. I don't think you saw my super chat.
Oh, sorry.
I was asking, what do we need to do to fix the defense? Do we need to get better players, or do we just need better schemes?
Well, I think we got to get better players. I don't think there's a scheme that you're going to run that's like you're going to be able to run with these players. When you're as poor as we are at linebacker, I mean, that's a big problem. Now, Efford has been really, really good for his age and his experience level. Mola is what he is. I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that. But, yeah, this is what I've said. We need 2 edge rushers or an edge rusher and another big man, and we need 2 linebackers. Because we're losing White, we're losing Oliver, we're losing Efford. So there's 3 linebackers that off the top of my head, you're losing. Now, we have some Austin Dean kid from Rutgers. Who knows about that? But, yeah. Real quick, Buzz with the $5 says, in the UVA game, we were all together for a blowout. The stream power is strong. Yeah, the more people I had streaming with me, like, amplified the win. It was crazy.
See?
I don't know what I'm thinking. I need to save some money.
I'm trying to guilt trip you into streaming, but not for my benefit, but for all of the Tech fans that want to go to a bowl game.
I should stream, and if we win, be like, I did this. I did this.
I'll give you credit. But, I don't know how much better you can get. You're already the #1 Georgia Tech show online.
Well, thank you. Thank you. For a minute, I eclipsed Kelly Quinlan in subscriber count. I think he's caught back up to me now. We've been like neck and neck. But yeah, as far as the defense, like, I just feel like this is what I've said too. You have to just be enough of a roadblock to let your offense score enough points. Against Clemson, I don't think the defense was the problem. You can't have 4 first downs going into a half and think that's going to work out to. I mean, when your defense is on the field for 25 minutes and a half, it's not good.
No, but you said it the other day or a couple of days ago. We're 130th in the nation.
Yeah, there's only Stanford and Colorado are worse.
That's just unfathomable. That's
yeah, and that's what pisses me off. Like, I don't care as a D1 program. I don't care what kind of issues you might have. You shouldn't be nearly dead last in any stat.
No,
I don't understand that at all.
No, I mean we were 500 the week before Clemson we were 500.
Yep,
right?
And yeah.
So you're 130th in the league in defense, and you're playing 500 ball.
Yeah, it tells you that our offense is probably rolling pretty well. If you didn't know anything about the offense. Let's see here. I misspoke. I didn't mean to say Efford was leaving. He's not. I think what is Efford's class? He's an underclassman for sure. Tantor for defense advisor. He makes sense in his take on players. Yeah, and I love Tantor. I just don't think there's a fix this season. You got to go hit the portal in the offseason. You got to hit on some recruits.
What about coaching?
Well, it's very hard for me to judge the staff. I'm still not convinced demoting Thacker was the right call.
All right, so last season, Thacker's defense was the reason why we did as good as we did.
Right.
I mean, all the quarterback issues we had and everything, offense was stuck. Our defense kept us in a lot of those games.
Mm-hmm.
I give Thacker all the credit in the world for that. But good God, man, we lost to Bowling Green.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, well, like last year Thacker had better players, and it's like, well, yeah, this year he had way worse depth and players, though. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard for me to judge a coordinator on that kind of stuff when your personnel has kind of been diminished the way it is. it's going to be a weird offseason. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the defensive side of the ball because you can't, like, reinstate Thacker now if you wanted to do that. That won't work. And you got to make the decision on whether you're going to retain Kevin Sherr. Now, evidently, Kevin Sherr was a guy whose connection was with Winky and not Key. So then you're going to have to pay his buyout. I don't know what it is, but you just hired him. You would fire him after a year. And it's kind of not fair to Sherr, in my opinion. He wasn't hired to be the DC. He was the co-DC. He was thrown into that role, like, not necessarily midseason with a deficient defense. So I don't know. It's kind of a mess.
Yeah, it really is. And I don't know, just 130th just kind of just doesn't sit right with me.
No, I agree. And I guess if you're going, because I think Thacker will be gone after this year. That I do think. If I was Thacker, I'd be looking for other jobs right now. If I got demoted like that, I wouldn't stay. Then if you're going to move on from Sherr, you better be pretty confident who you hire is going to work out. And I don't know who we're going to hire. I mean, what defensive guy out there that's pretty good is realistic for us to get?
I don't know. We can get Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah, we could probably get him for free. By the way, I saw that total staff turnover between his buyout, which is $76 million.
Oh, shit. I thought it was his part was 28, right?
No, Jimbo's was $76 million. He had to be paid.
No way.
Yes. They signed him to $97 million 10-year extension in 2021, 100% guaranteed.
Are we going to see $1 billion coach before I die?
$1 billion? I don't know. You mean by that, do you mean his contract's $1 billion? Probably not. There's definitely going to be probably a market correction, though, in this because, I mean, that's a lot. So $76 million. I think you're getting $20 million from. He has to be paid $20 million within 90 days. He has to be paid his first installment of $7.28 million within 120, and then he gets paid $7.28 million per year till 2031. Now that's just him. They're going to wipe the staff.
Right. That's not right, man. That shouldn't happen.
They're going to have to wipe the staff with whoever they hire, right? He's going to want to hire his own guys. Total estimate is $150 million on this move.
He's more like a contractor than a coach.
Yeah. They don't show up and do what they're supposed to do, and you have to run them down. Gene Chizik is available. All right, man.
I'll let you have somebody else on the call. I don't want to take up your whole show, dude.
Oh, all right. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too, buddy.
Mike Doug, appreciate your support. Also, Mike Doug was one of the first subscribers to the channel, along with a guy, T-Branch was in there in the early days. Nerd Stop as well. T-Branch made a donation today for some new Macho Wreck stuff. So I'll have to get in touch with Macho Wreck. Thank you so much, T-Branch, for that. Made a sizable donation, and I appreciate it. And it's not the first one he's done for Macho Wreck. Buzz Talk with a $10 super chat says, Syracuse leading tackler is linebacker M. Wax with 83 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 pass defense, 1 interception, 3 forced fumbles. He's a guy that will make us pay if we run dumb offense. They play deep, but Wax will kill King if not careful. Now, they do play deep. When I looked at film, when they are in zone, I was like, man, this looks a lot like how Tech plays zone, where we just scream back, almost like we're in a prevent defense without being in a prevent defense. We just call it zone. In reality, it's kind of a prevent. The thing that worries me is we don't usually throw across the field and short unless it's one of those wide receiver screens. So, look, I trust Buster. I think we're going to take advantage of, playing the 76 or the 72nd ranked defense as opposed to the 6th ranked defense in Clemson. Should be a far better result. Thanks, Buzz, for that, for the super chat. When are you going to have a giveaway for one of those rec mugs? Probably at the end of the season. After the season, we'll do some recaps, and I'll do a giveaway. In fact, let's see. If we clinch a bowl, I'll do a giveaway like first week of December. How about that? Does that sound good? All channel members will be entered in to a giveaway. Again, hit the StreamYard link if you want to come in and say your piece. What were your expectations preseason? What are they now? What do you think going into the Syracuse game? As a serious note, Brian Knorr has the best defense in Group of 5 up at Air Force. Call him. Now, if we are going to make a move from DC, unless we got some money I don't know about, we probably will have to get an up-and-coming Group of 5 guy. The thing with that is it's going to affect your recruiting on those defensive players. And most likely negatively. Let me get I got to blow my nose. Hold on. I tell you what's annoying about being sick and having congestion is when you can't laugh without sounding like Arthur Morgan at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2. When he, spoiler alert, died of tuberculosis. Maybe more fitting for the audience is Doc Holliday at the end of Tombstone. Well, geez, Doc, I got plenty of friends. I don't. I got plenty of friends. They're in here with me right now, 44 of you. If we make a bowl game, I need a WreckTalk bowl. I don't know. I'll have to talk to the guy and see if we can do that, the WreckTalk bowl. I'll have to look at this guy from Air Force. That might be a good he's definitely akin to recruiting kids with stringent academic requirements, so it could be a good fit. I mean, of all the service academies, wouldn't Air Force or Navy would have Naval Academy, was that in Annapolis, would have probably the more stringent academics. They all are pretty ridiculous though, including Army. But I'm excited, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Papa Rec's going to come pick me up. We're going to go to the game. We're going to have a good time. Also, I swear to you, if you have tickets for the Georgia game, and hear me clearly, crystal clear, danger, do not sell your tickets. Do not sell your tickets. I swear, if that stadium looks anything remotely like it did the last time Georgia came to Bobby Dodd, I might have a heart attack right there. So don't do it. What is YW, my dude? T. Brants, what does that mean? Tim Kyle says, any chance our defense can give a little of a break since our schedule is so tough? Can be given a little of a break since our schedule is so tough? Maybe a little. It's really hard to give your defense a break when they're ranked 130th or 129th or whatever in the country. I mean, there really is no argument to say, I mean, give them a break. There's only 2 teams worse than them, you know, or give them a break. There's 2 teams worse than them. Maybe that's the break. How can I get tickets to the Tech UGA game? The dang cost an arm and a leg. The Facebook group. The Facebook group would be the best place for that. Like I've said, I've gotten tickets from the Facebook groups before, and a lot of times they'll sell them at face value. And I bet you they'll be even more willing to do that because we don't want the whole thing to be read. Fans should show up against UGA if we win tomorrow. Yeah, they should show up anyway. we talked about on the last live show. I shouldn't have to explain rivalries. You should always get up for that game. Driving up tomorrow, we'll see you. We'll see you there, John Burns. Well, I mean, what are they going for right now? Are they like minimum 150 or something like that? And you know why that is, by the way. That's because so many Georgia fans are buying them. What's going on, B-Bean? Good to have you in here. Good to have you in here. Defensively, I think we just have to be disciplined tomorrow. Jeff Collins for DC, good defense at Florida and Mississippi State. I can't believe you said that. We're already paying him $11.37 million. What would be your prediction for a bowl if we take care of business? I've seen Pinstripe and Military Bowl. Yeah, I've seen Gator Bowl. I would love Auburn. As far as prediction, I don't know enough about the ins and outs of bowls. Other than they want to, within justifiable reason, wherever the bowl is played, sell it out, right? So they want to geographically pick teams that are going to travel to that. That's why I think the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville for Auburn and Georgia Tech makes the most sense. 300 on StubHub. StubHub is a scam. StubHub, Vivid, Ticketmaster. I'm telling you, just try the Facebook groups. In fact, let me go look. I'll help you guys out. Let me switch profiles to my Jason Statham profile. I don't remember my password. Hopefully my computer does. Not correct. All right, I don't remember, so I'll just use my normal. I won't switch screens here as to not. Now it's going to want me to sign in to my main. Okay, that worked. We're 2-0 against the Tigers in the last two meetings. All right, let me go look on the Georgia Tech football group. The big one, Georgia Tech football private group, 13.4 thousand members. So next week they'll probably post it if they haven't already. Already they have the official Georgia Tech versus Syracuse ticket sales post. Please list all ticket sales here. And I see people saying need 3. This guy has 2 tickets available, section 111, row 29, 60 total for both. So that's $30 a ticket. Oh, thanks, Steve Branch. What's going on, Val? I don't see a UGA ticket post yet. I don't, but that would be your best bet. Now, it's a private group, and my only criticism is they're a little stingy about who they let in sometimes. But go to the Facebook group. If you can at all avoid it, do not give Ticketmaster or StubHub or those absolute money whore pieces of garbage have a dime of your money. You'll go to buy the ticket. So if they're listed... What did you say they were listed at? Let me scroll back up here. You said like 150 with fees. Okay, 600 for club seats. Well, if you're going to sit club, then money probably isn't an issue if you're considering that. I would think. But yeah, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. I got tickets for the Georgia game in Sanford through that. Really good tickets. They were like $75 a piece. There's no fees. There's no BS. And you can pay with PayPal. I mean, most people who are reasonable will let you pay with PayPal. And if they screw you, PayPal, you can dispute the charge and get it back. I guess you could also load money on your PayPal with a credit card and charge it back. I don't know. $300 tickets were in section 105. I tell you what, I will figure out my password for that. It's not Yellow Jackets $345 or something. It's not. I will ask around. And see about what the tickets are and what people are willing to let them go for. But, look, you guys know my opinion on the game. I've stated it as such. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link again. You're welcome to call in. Again, tell me what your expectations are, what your expectations are for tomorrow. Are you going to the game? Or at this point, really anything about Tech that you want to talk about. Am I sure? Yeah. I don't share a brain with another person, I'm sure. Are you sure is a question wives like to ask a lot of their husbands. Hey, did you lose this? No. Are you sure? Yes. Are you sure you didn't forget you lost it? Well, the definition of forgetting is I'm not aware of it. I no longer have knowledge of it. That's what it is. All right. Let me switch screens here. Mr. Whisper, what's going on?
What's going on, WreckTalk?
How are you, sir? I assume you'll be there tomorrow.
Oh, I'll be there. You got it.
So tell me, what were your expectations coming into the season, and where do they sit now?
Yeah, so coming in, I mean, you know, a fan's opinions are rarely reality, right? So,
sure.
I mean, I was expecting 7 or 8 wins, mostly because I was counting on some of the upsets, like UNC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody saw the obvious, ridiculous losses to Boston College or
Bowling Green
coming up. I mean, those were just atrocious. So, if we make a bowl game this year, it'll be progress compared to any other previous year we've had. So I'll be excited about that. So if we can do that, that'd be amazing, man.
So you'll be there tomorrow. What do you think about this game against Syracuse? I know Syracuse isn't a good team. I've lined out some concerns that I kind of have going into the game. How are you feeling?
Well, it's almost worse when you're going against a team is not good.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, the mindset of any young kid, right, is that, we ought to go in and beat these guys. I mean, you tell me any, 18 to 22-year-old who doesn't think that, they're already on top of the world and their emotions get the best of them and they can't stay focused. I mean, we've all been there when we were that age. So that's to me almost the worst thing that you could have is to be favored in a situation like this when you need to win. And you're going into that environment thinking that you're on top of the world. I think a lot of that comes from the previous 3 to 4, 3.5 to 4 seasons under Jeff Collins, where they were basically treated like children and told that they were great no matter what happened to them.
Yeah, and I get that, and I agree with that. There are some things that perplex me, like with Mola, who never was coached under Collins, so maybe that's just one we missed on.
Mola's a different animal because he's had some good plays, some individual performances, like not giving up against Miami as an example, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, it seems like he's constantly out of position or not putting in max effort. So, I mean, I don't know. You don't want to be hard on a kid. It's hard to call them kids when there's NIL and they are young men, to be honest with you.
And he's like 23, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, it's kind of hard to call him a kid in that case. But at the same time, when they're this, quote unquote student athlete, you want to believe the best of them. But honestly, I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. I don't want to disparage a college player, but I guess there's a reason that he transferred from Notre Dame, right? So.
Well, I don't necessarily either. One thing that really irritated me, and it shouldn't matter, but like his Twitter is all Notre Dame stuff, and that just pisses me off.
Yeah, well, I did not know that, and that kind of irritates me too.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, man, I know you graduated from there, I guess, but you're at Tech now.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I mean, get with the program of where you're currently at, I guess. So. Yeah, that I didn't know his Twitter was all full of Notre Dame stuff. So it's almost like his head's not in the game. I mean, it's almost obvious at that point, right? So
Yeah. That being said, like I do think we got some good players, and the strength of our defense has really been like cornerback, safety. Like Amari Harvey's made some good plays. Clayton Powell's made some really good plays. Brooks has been pretty hit or miss. It's been a little bit disappointing with him. I know he's been playing, I think, fairly banged up all year with whatever's going on with him.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it seems to be that, he's had some injuries that have been, injury-ridden all season long. So I feel bad for Brooks because, I think he's not 100%, but he's I feel like he's still giving it his all every game, especially in those post-game interviews you see with him. So.
Yep, Kennard's been decent on defense for us. He'll have a game. We really need him to step up against Syracuse. I haven't mentioned him in any of the pregame stuff, but he needs to have a good game.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kennard's a beast. He can, and he can be a beast every game, I feel like. I think a lot of it, and, I'm one of the guys. I'll be one of the guys in the comments, telling you, what DCs we should get and all that kind of stuff. With the talent that we do have, I wanted to be a believer in Thacker. I really wanted to be a believer in him, but I'm just not anymore. I'm past it, and he's proven that he can make the hard decisions and get rid of people when he needs to, and do what's best for the program. And I think that come end of whatever comes first, the end of the regular season or hopefully the end of bowl season, he'll be making the decision to. I don't want to say move on from.
Sure.
Yeah, move on from any of these guys, but because, like you said, Shear's not necessarily the hired to be a DC, but we've got to get somebody in there who can scheme around the strengths of his defense. Much like if you look back in Tech history and you look at like Ralph Regent, no matter who he had, well, I shouldn't say no matter who he had, but he had George Godsey. And he had Joe Hamilton.
Yeah.
And those guys had very different strengths, but he could coach to their strengths, coach to the strengths of his roster. And we need a DC who can coach to the strengths of his roster.
Well, let me ask you
this. Where I
this.
feel like we're falling short.
Do you think we're better on defense since we demoted Thacker?
It's hard to tell.
I agree.
After a couple games, you think, yeah, obviously that was a genius move. But then you have a game like, like last week, which was, and last week, in the defense of the defense. That's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all the defense's fault. I know a lot of people say, and I was one of them, saying the defense was atrocious, and it was. But when your defense is on the field, as much as ours was the first 3 quarters of the game, you can't expect as much of them. So
no, and offensively against Clemson, we probably had as bad of an offensive showing as you can possibly have.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, it wasn't Bowling Green bad, but it was still really bad. I
Yeah.
mean, negative, what is it, 1 yard going into the half? I mean, that's
Passing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, we had 1 yard passing going into half, and we only had like 78 yards total offense going into like the third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it was overall, disappointing would be an understatement, right? So, especially when everybody knew that we had to score big in order to be in that game, and it just didn't happen. And I still don't think that we still have the talent, I think, to have made that happen.
Yeah.
I just don't think, I've said it multiple times in comments, the surrounding cast just wasn't there in the Clemson game that it needed to be. And that's when you wind up with Haynes King trying to do too much, trying to play, Brett Favre, in my opinion, and trying to force the ball where he doesn't need to, trying to throw the deep ball when he doesn't need to, trying to do something to make something happen. I don't think that's necessarily reflective of him as a quarterback in those games. When you've got less than 2 seconds to throw the ball, and when you do throw a good ball, it gets dropped. You can't, it's unfair to come down on Haynes King in that case, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing about college football. It's probably the most emotional, fan base. Like, you be praising a guy 1 minute and then wanting him to be benched the next. And I don't know how you feel. I'm still confused as to how people thought I was advocating for benching Haynes King.
No, I agree. I think somebody took my comment the wrong way as well in that case. I don't think we should have ever benched Haynes King, but I do think that in the fourth quarter of the Clemson game that we should have put Zach Pyron in.
Which is not benching a kid.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. It's prepping. It's prepping your second team. It's getting them ready in case there's an injury. It's getting them ready. It's giving him a chance to show out as well. So I mean, maybe there are guys that don't practice as well as they play. They show out in games, but they don't show out necessarily in practice. I mean, if you go all the way back, back to I'll look at, if you look at Major Applewhite in Texas versus Chris Sims. Chris Sims was garbage during a game, but for somehow he won the starting position, and they had to put Major Applewhite in to bail him out every time. Yeah. So I mean, you don't know how ridiculous things like that happen. Not to look at Texas. I'm not that I'm a Texas fan or like that.
I think Jeff Sims was like that.
Yeah, it must have been because that's not any discredit to him. I'm actually sad that he didn't do as well at Nebraska as I thought he was going to, with a fresh start and a new start and all that kind of stuff.
I was wrong too.
Yeah. That being said, it kind of shows that, well, maybe it wasn't all, Georgia Tech that kept him down. And I think that's proven by, Haynes King coming to Tech, having, phenomenal numbers compared to his Texas A&M days. Some kids got to be in the right system, and some kids just won't get it. They just won't have that success on the field that they're expected to for whatever reason that is. And I think a lot of it is what you mentioned earlier, right? There's no more emotional, fan base than in college football. But there's also no more emotional players than in college football because they are young kids for the most part.
Yeah, and honestly, the best Sims ever played was the few games he started with Key as interim. And I think that's a testament to we have got, number one, how good Chris Winkie is, and number two, we've got to do everything in our power to keep Chris Winkie.
Yeah, so the only thing, I've said this to my old man, is that the only thing good about this season is that probably no one's going to look at our offensive coordinator or our quarterback's coach to try and poach him at least this season. So,
maybe they'll leave Singleton alone with some drop passes. Maybe that's the silver lining.
We can only hope so, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, in the world of NIL, I don't think, despite the fact that we're making a big push for the Tech way, I don't think that we're gonna be able to compete for at least a very long time against other programs like any SEC program, for example, right?
Well, we're not even on par with other SEC programs. Really. I mean, look, when my dad, he listens to the radio, he drives every night, and of course they have the dumb UGA Kirby Collins show. I think it's on Thursdays. And when people ask, how do you maintain this level of success? Do you know what he says? Contribute to the NIL fund.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I'm not dogging him, no pun intended, for that. I'm not mad about it. That's the reality of the game today.
You're right. Yeah, he doesn't have to pay him under the table anymore. He can pay him legally now. But,
which, by the way, is what is. Right. People give Nick Saban this credit for he said this is what would happen in college football. Yeah, the thing Nick didn't want is for the things he was doing to become above board. That's how I see it.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So
he had this massive advantage behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and now he doesn't. That's why he got so mad at Jimbo that year.
Yeah, because Jimbo brought it to light.
Well, Jimbo did what he was doing and did it better that year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, things didn't pan out for Jimbo, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on which fan base you're.
Dude, he's gonna make $25,000 a day until 2031.
Yeah, I know, for doing nothing.
Let's say with taxes, he'll make half of that.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money still.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you could pay me that much to stay home. I'd be happy to.
$12,500 a day.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know how many Big Macs I could buy every day?
That's a good point. So one thing I wanted to talk about too, if you don't mind,
no, go ahead,
is the screen game, right? So one thing that drives me crazy, and I think it drives a lot of Tech fans crazy, is how we stick with the wide receiver screens, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that we want the screen game to be part of what we're doing, and I'm not opposed to that at all. But like I know I said something about a running back screen, a tunnel screen, any screen other than that wide receiver screen, which we obviously aren't blocking well, for one, and two, we're not, I almost don't think that the release of Haynes King is fast enough almost, because they're expecting it. And it's not, I'm not picking on Haynes, but they expect that. The release actually is probably right where it should be, but,
Yeah, I don't think the release is going to help anyone. They're already there. I mean,
they're already keyed in for it, right? So, but, what's your take on, on a traditional screen pass, especially when,
I would love it.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got, I don't want to say a porous offensive line because they're head and shoulders above where we were in the offensive line last season, and even where we were in the beginning of the season. They've improved every game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly recap, I mean, what are you doing? I mean, every play call you should be asking, what is the point of this?
Yeah,
screen. Usually they're blitzing a lot, which they're probably going to do. I would think Syracuse 100%. Is going to do. And you say, okay, we're having trouble blocking them. Let's not try to block them. Screw that. We're going to just release and go get numbers on the second level. And your quarterback's going to make a quick throw and flip it. I feel like in the perimeter screen game, to your point, you kind of undo the point of it. Now you're playing, this is what I said earlier in the show, into where they're more stable defensively in that particular play calling scheme.
You're losing the numbers game on the outside.
Yeah.
If you run a traditional screen, you're going to win the numbers game up the middle.
Yeah, I mean, what's the hardest type of tackle? An open field tackle. What's the hardest block? An open field block.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're doing with those perimeter screens, unless I guess they're just lined up an inch behind the line of scrimmage. But I think I don't blame us for doing it. I blame us for doing it as much as we do.
Yeah, and that's I'm not saying that I understand where we want the offense to go in the future. I just don't think we're there yet to be able to run those specific screenplays. I love a good screen, but we gotta see something else out of it, right? In order to open up the the out routes, because I think they're sitting on screens and out routes right now, and as long as you're playing cover 2,
we're losing you. It sounds like you're adding cups over your mouth.
Oh, you're losing me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Better. Now you're good.
All right, yeah. So,
yeah, and this has been my criticism of the offense. Not to take anything away from the offense, it's been really good. There's a reason Buster is up for an award for coordinator of the year or whatever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But it seems like we either throw 5 yards or less, or 20 yards or more.
Yeah, there's very few. And if we're throwing a medium route, it's we're throwing all the way across the field for so the ball's in the air for 35 to 40 yards to make a 10-yard pass.
Yeah.
And I think that's how Haynes got picked off against Clemson in the pick 6, right? I think we were on the right hash and he threw to the left.
Yeah, he threw a stop. I think it was a stop or an out. I don't remember. Yeah. And the guy was in front of it when he released the ball.
Yeah.
He should have seen that, but
I agree. Yeah. But I mean, I think that just goes to the point is that it's gotten predictable that these are the routes we run. We're not running across the middle. We're not running, anything, a tunnel screen or a traditional running back screen or anything like that. Or run, so, you put, you run you stack the box to stop the run, you play a tight man, and you run a cover 1 or 2. I mean, those are the ways to stop Tech's offense right now, I feel like.
Now, I will say this, because Syracuse defenders are worlds different than what Clemson has, right? If their game plan is to man up all night, I think we do okay. I think Singleton Jr. has a big game. Probably another receiver has a big game. And I've said this too, as oxymoronic as it is, running into a blitz can work, where they just get so far upfield they over pursue you and you just split it. Kind of like splitting double coverage in basketball.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with you. Yeah.
So I think that works for us. Now, I see John Burns says we need to run a 4-3 defense this week. I tend to agree. And
who are your 3 linebackers going to be that you're going to trust to put in there?
Well, this is what I said in the Syracuse preview. We need to spy. You can spy him with a nickel too. So I guess that's not a 4-3, but whatever. You need to spy Schrader or whoever's at quarterback all night, and I'm not opposed to bringing Clayton Powley in to play linebacker against Syracuse.
I'd like that. In fact, somebody said in the comments too, stop getting DBs and get linebackers, which I agree with.
Yeah.
But if you bulk up a DB, turn him into a linebacker, or have them run, move those DBs into those linebacker positions. I mean, we need speed. And we need, a quick reaction there more than anything.
We need pursuit to the ball. And Clayton Powley is a big kid. I don't know. Someone in here was kind of saying that he's been a huge disappointment. I 100% don't agree with that.
Oh, yeah. No, I think Clayton Powley's been great. But again, it's similar to if you don't support the cast on offense, you can't blame the quarter. If you don't support the quarterback on offense, you can't blame the quarterback alone for its failures. If every defensive player is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, obviously somebody, as a deep back's going to get out of position trying to protect a run or, help out in coverage and be where they're not either supposed to be or where they're, if
you're not getting pressure.
Is what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
I mean, you can't cover a guy for 7-8 seconds. It's not going to happen.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, exactly.
But Whisper, I appreciate you coming on. I got C-Dog in the back here. I had a really good conversation, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
I see you tomorrow.
To hell with Georgia.
Yes, sir. All right. The man, the myth, the legend, everyone. We're in for a treat. I did not plan this. What's going on, C-Dog?
Hey, man.
Hey,
What's that?
you're not going to show a wiener, are you?
I could have got you, but I took it easy on you this time. But I just checked, and you're on the no trust screen, so you're good.
So, I haven't talked to you in like 2 days, I don't think. But
What's up with that?
well, I called you and you didn't return my call. That was one. I mean, I wasn't going to go into
for
that.
For those of you that don't know, me and WreckTalk talk like every day.
Got idea.
Like every day.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like usually for 50 minutes or so. And most of it is tech football. Some of it is weirder stuff.
Well, that's why I say we should record our phone calls. But then we start talking about our dogs and everything else the other night, like we do on the phone, and people get mad. They're like, well, who cares? Look what I just sent you on Twitter. I was watching your video, and dude, I don't know how we're gonna beat Syracuse, man. Clemson can't even do, or Haynes King can't even do backflips.
Yeah, I mean, when you recruit a quarterback, wouldn't you think he'd say, "Hey, can you do a backflip real quick?" Because that's going to be important.
Look what I sent you on Twitter. It reminded me when you kept talking about that. It reminded me of what I saw earlier in this year, and I had quote tweeted it, and I said, "We better not fall for this." So, and then I watch your video and come to find out they do shit like this all the time.
Yeah, now this is from earlier in the year. So I don't know if you heard me saying, I think he's got a significant arm injury where he can't throw more than 10 yards downfield right now.
Wow.
I don't know why. So he looks like he's 40 yards down the field, no one's touched him, and then he just falls down as if there was a sniper in the stands. Let me switch screens here and show you guys.
Is it the video I just showed you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he slid down. I'm talking about the
no, I know the play fake.
Play fake.
Yeah. You should only have like 2 a season of those in you without just getting absolutely murdered. Let me switch screens here.
Wait, no, but apparently he did this multiple times.
This is what he's talking about. Look at this play fake.
I mean, it is pretty cool to watch, but it is gimmicky.
It is, dude, and that's like what really worried me is looking at it. I was like, this shouldn't work against most people. I think it will work against Tech's defense.
Well,
though.
It's funny. It's funny you say that because I at the time I literally said we better not fall for this because because it does seem like something we would fall for, doesn't it?
Yeah. I bet you Mula'd still be tackling that running back in that play.
Yeah.
I did it.
He would be trying to strip him.
Yeah. 100%. Real quick, can I show you something?
Yeah, show me.
This is what's tough about having kids. This is my Telecaster.
Yep.
And then right here, I was going to play it some today, and this part broke. Now, I didn't break it. And only
Did
one
Baby
other
Wreck break it?
I think she has some explaining to do. Now, luckily, my acoustic, my Laravel.
I didn't know you play guitar.
Yeah, dude. I actually played at a place in Athens when I lived in Athens called Boar's Head Lounge.
Oh, cool. You played and you're like the live music guy?
Yeah.
Dude, that is so cool.
Which, if you want to test your nerves, sing and play an instrument in front of a bunch of drunken people in Athens. Yeah. What's that?
Wow. You sang too?
I will see if I can find. There is a video of me playing Wagon Wheel. By Old Crow Medicine Show did it first. By the way, Old Crow Medicine Show is the jam. And
not that daggum freaking
Darius Rucker.
Come on, man, that's Hootie. I love me some Hootie.
And the only reason I played it is because the guy's like, I'll buy drinks for your entire group, whoever you came with. There was this kick-ass Brazilian band that played with us. I don't know. It was a good time, but anyway. I'll see if I can find that for you guys.
Hootie is an awesome name for a dog.
Hootie?
Hootie. Isn't it awesome? Hootie.
Yeah, I like Hootie.
Hootie, I think that was, we were going to name, that was on like our dog's name list, is Hootie. That's a freaking awesome name.
I could get down with Hootie.
Hootie is awesome.
So tell me your thoughts on Syracuse. You've talked about the gimmicky stuff. You'll be there, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I should have had a video out. Look, I have been. Everybody knows this is like the busiest time I've ever been in my entire life. I've been working on my house all week. We've had a crew here all week and everything, but I have made it a point to do a big video this week. I have a buzzsaw video coming out. I'm gonna stay up as long as it takes tonight to finish editing.
Wow!
And it's gonna be epic.
That is commitment.
So I have poured my heart into this video, and it's all I can offer you for this football season. I know my channel has sucked this season. I've fallen behind.
Doesn't suck at all.
I'm lagging behind. I haven't been putting out the content like I usually do. But I've got this one video coming out. It's going to be really special. And the buzzsaw, I'm just going to let you guys know, the buzzsaw is going to be at the game tomorrow. Walking around, doing interviews, photo ops, and discussing the epic beatdown that is going to unfold onto the orange. And there's going to be an epic buzzsaw video that's coming out. It'll probably be, whenever you lay your little head down to sleep tonight, you'll probably wake up to a buzzsaw video in your feed. So be on the lookout for that. I really would have liked to have got it out earlier this week, but it's all I can do to get this video out. But it'll be so much nicer to watch after we win. It'll be so much nicer.
Well, that if you were on the fence of going to this game, I think that should tip you over the edge.
The buzzsaw will be at the game. You will have a chance to meet him. He'll be walking around. See if you can find him. He's like Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
He's not hard to find.
Oh yeah.
He ain't hard to find.
Breaking news, I did find that video while you were going over that. I'm going to have to record it because I would kind of dox myself because it's on my Facebook. I'll show you guys next live show. Oh, Wreck.
So you asked about the Syracuse game, and I've got to get a video out. Maybe I'll record that and post it real quick tonight so people have something to watch. But look, my feelings on this game basically is I'm ready to be hurt. I'm all in for one last time this season. I have pushed all my chips in, my full emotional investment in this game. If we lose this game, I will be devastated. The likes of which I have never been. I mean, Ken Segura posted a stat earlier today that we are one of 4 Power 5 teams to have not made a bowl in the past however many years, 4 or 5 years or whatever it's been.
Oh my God.
Only 4 Power 5 teams have not made a bowl in that time. Is it too much to ask to get to a bowl? I mean, that's all I want. I will consider the season a success if we can just overcome this one last thing and freaking pull it off and get to a bowl. It would make the season for me. And if we don't, I honestly, this might be unfair. I don't know. This might be unfair. I would consider the season a failure if we don't make a bowl. Now, of course, we could go beat Georgia, but do you really want to have to count on having to beat Georgia to get to a bowl game? I mean,
no, let's secure this thing
like, Saturday. Yes, which we could have this past weekend, but
I know it.
I just I'm I'm all in, and I think we will too. I think we're going to turn up and whoop Syracuse's ass, because my Jackets have not let me down 2 weeks in a row this season. Every time they broke my heart, they turned right around and delivered me a win. And I think that it's going to be no different this week. They're going to be turned up. I think the place is going to be a zoo. We are starving. I don't know if other people. I mean, I'm not talking. Obviously, I know you and the commenters.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Tech fans in general. Like all the Tech fans that showed up to the UNC game. I hope that they're just as starving for a bowl game as I am, and they're going to show up and show out and be loud, and make this thing happen, because it's we just got to, man. We just got to. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, we got to beat Syracuse. I mean, we should beat them. They're terrible. They beat Pitt last week. Whoop-de-doo. Their freaking only ACC win.
Yeah, Pitt turned the
we
ball
should
over
do
4
what
times.
to we should be able to do to Syracuse what we did to Virginia. We should be. Now, I'll be okay if we don't blow them out. I just want to win. I don't care if it's by 100. Obviously, I prefer that, or if it's by 1. And quadruple overtime. I literally don't care. I just want to win, and I want to go to a bowl game. I want to go to a bowl game so bad I can freaking smell it. I can taste it. I need it.
Yes. Now, look, we're hungry for a bowl.
I cannot tell you how desperate I am. Like, and how big it would be for the program. Not even just that, but you get extra practices. It proves the program. You know, it's a proof of concept. There's literally no way to demonstrate growth better than more wins. We had 5 wins last year. If we finished with 5 wins this year, I'd consider that a disappointment. We need to make a bowl. We need to make a bowl. We need to make a bowl.
We need to make a bowl. We need more wins this year than last.
Yes, it would, and we need to keep this recruiting class together. And I hope it comes together a little more. It seems like we haven't got any commits since like summertime, but.
Now, let me ask your opinion on that, because the defensive side of the ball is going to be a huge question mark going into the offseason.
I hope that we hit the portal for linebackers and D linemen like we did wide receivers last year.
And traditionally defensive backs in most other years.
Right. So.
Well, that's a given.
I really hope that.
Staff-wise.
And I heard you talking. I listened a little bit. I was editing, but I was listening a little bit to what you were saying about Thacker earlier in the year. Yeah, replacing the DC is going to be important too. And like you said, like I mean, somebody asked you like, "Oh, did you think it was, Thacker or the players?" Well, I mean, I would think it's the players. And yes, we got blown out by Bowling Green. It was horrible. But it's like, I don't know. It's not like Thacker's any worse of a coach then than he was when you decide to retain him. It's just the players are different. So why demote him? I don't get it. I really don't. The more I think about it, it's like, now we have to go out and search for a DC and start over there. And it just seemed knee-jerk, you know? It just seemed like a knee-jerk. I know he said it wasn't knee-jerk.
No, it was. And I don't know. I'm sure you probably agree with it. I don't think we're any better defensively now than when Thacker
Hell no, we're not. Yeah. Now what are you going to do with Cher? Are you going to demote him back to linebackers? Or, because we just brought him in, what's going to go, like, what's going on?
You get a demotion. You get a demotion.
Yeah, so like now if you don't retain Cher at DC, then it's like, which I thought he was already co-DC. Maybe you keep him as co-DC and then bring in another DC. I really have no idea, but that's going to have to be something that I don't know. But I imagine we'll be better on defense next year, because it's hard to be any worse than we were, really.
Yeah. Buzz Talk with the $5 super chat says they're hyper with the Pitt win. Watch a Syracuse podcast, and they all got Syracuse winning because Tech has a turnover problem, and they were good against Pitt. Well, they had a lot of fumbles against Pitt, especially on their gimmicky nonsense. They just didn't turn the ball over on. They recovered the
That's
fumble.
the thing though with Tech is like, yeah, whenever we lose, we turn it over a lot, but whenever we win, we fumble 1 or 0 times the entire game. Like it just depends on the week. So I'm sure that Syracuse thinks they're going to win.
Well, they're not going to pick off Haynes King 4 times. That I do know. If they think that's going to be a repeat for them this week, I would be very surprised if that were to happen.
I mean, our offense got smothered last week, so it's not like they're going to do that to our offense. I don't know, but in a season where you get blown out by Bowling Green, anything can happen. So I just can't believe if we. Can you imagine making a bowl and losing to Bowling Green in the same season? Like, if you had told me that in the offseason that we lost to Bowling Green, I'd be like, well, 3 wins max,
Yes.
So here we are, staring down the barrel of a bowl game. And I think we get it, too.
Oh, maybe I was wrong on the whiteout. That was Georgia Tech coverage that said that.
Yeah, no, the whiteout is like a fan that, like, the school never said to white out, but
you know what? We're whiting out. We're whiting out. This is do or die, bowl time, Scarface. Say hello to my little friends. Let's go. White out. It doesn't get any more official than because WreckTalk told you so.
Right.
How about that?
The buzzsaw will be wearing white, so.
Okay. Now, 2 things. Whisper says, Rec, that is another point I meant to make. You can't hold on to the current staff to hold on to recruits. That's sacrificing better for status quo. I'm not saying that's the sole reason you would hang on to a DC or something, but I do think your problems are defensive personnel, and you just need to realize that with making a move from your coordinator, defensive coordinator, you're going to lose defensive recruits. Now, you could gain some with whoever you hire. That's my thought on that. Buzz with another $5 says, I was laughing during the entire talk. They mentioned how Haynes King has 24 interceptions. Well, he has 14. And they all said we should be able to get some turnovers and go up early. If they said he has 24 interceptions, that's how many touchdowns he has. How many touchdowns does Garrett Schrader have? 10.
What is the Syracuse podcast you guys are talking about?
Post a link to the Syracuse podcast.
I want to see it.
We'll watch it. We'll watch it right now.
Right now? I was listening. I've done that before. In the off season, I was listening to like Louisville podcasts, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna kick Tech's ass. Yeah, it's not gonna be an issue." I was like, "Man, these guys got another thing coming." Of course.
Well, they didn't kick our ass.
That game. Well, yeah, those people who thought they were just gonna blow by us. Now, those people wound up being right about about Louisville being good, but they were wrong about Tech being bad, at least. I mean, are we a bad team? I don't know.
I think we're a bad defense.
I think we're okay. I think we're an okay team. I think 6-6 is literally the definition of okay, right?
Sonny, you're not going to be able to post a link if you're not a mod. If you can post it, well, no, you can't post it in the Discord because my microphone.
It feels like we're a bad team.
This is like the Dave Chappelle skit with Rick James. You think I'm just going to go in there and mess that dude's couch up? Yeah, I mess that dude's couch up.
Says he hates Syracuse. Why would you?
They're so innocent, though.
Yeah, how could anybody hate Syracuse? Now, I do have horror flashbacks because when we played the last time we played them, they were 1-11, and we were their only win under Jeff Collins.
I remember that game.
That was god awful, and we turned it over 1,000,000 times. Jeff Sims turned it over 1,000,000 times that game, and we gave them their 1 win of the season. Oh my god, that was horrifying. Jeff Collins set so many historic losses.
What's the award for like the worst actor? It's like the Riz Awards. I don't really want to bring that term up, or the Razzle Awards. He gets that for coaching.
Yeah. I mean, you had the biggest loss in series history to Clemson and Georgia. and you got shut out for the first time at home, I think ever, or at least like the first time since like the 50s or something at home. Shut out by Virginia Tech, like 56-0. And then the loss to the Citadel, loss to Northern Illinois. You lose to Syracuse, and it's their only win of the season. Just awful.
Okay.
Just awful.
I'm going to try something with you. I don't know how long you can stay on. I know we're all super busy.
Yeah, I'm editing this video, and I'm doing it for you people. Doing it for you people.
But I've got this podcast.
He says it's from 1808 to 2430.
Wait, that's not it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I got it. Up now. Hold on.
Orange zone? What the hell?
Share screen.
Wait, so there's this whole podcast this week, and they only talk about Georgia Tech for that much of it?
All right, here it is. Let's see what they got to say.
Brandon, looking ahead to Georgia Tech.
You can
I
hear
can't
it.
hear it. Did you share the audio?
Oh, man. Hold
Okay,
on.
so take it out and then click share audio next time. Yeah.
Why wouldn't it do that automatically?
I don't know. It is what it is. You ever watch Kangaroo Black? He goes, "It is what it is." Are there any Kangaroo Black viewers in here?
I know what you're talking about.
I love that guy. I told him I would go on his show whenever Georgia loses.
Aiden
They won't
Bellamy, you
freaking
get
lose.
the fumbles. Great.
I feel like a
Yeah.
pilot in like a Mayday situation right now. Hold on. Okay, I figured it out. For some reason, to share audio, you have to do it off a tab, and there we go. Now,
Granted, some of them were Pitt's doing.
you can hear that, right?
Okay, yeah.
All right, here's the preview.
Brandon, looking ahead to Georgia Tech, Bellamy said when we spoke with him, he's like, it's kind of like a Super Bowl feel because you have 2 5-5 teams.
Exactly.
6 is the magic number for a bowl eligibility.
And one is more desperate than the other right now.
And explain why.
Who do you think is more desperate for a bowl?
Well, I would assume, based on what they're saying, not for a bowl, but I would assume that they are saying that Georgia Tech would be more desperate because we have Georgia next week, which they would assume is a loss, versus them, who has Wake Forest next week, which could be a toss-up.
I have a feeling they're going to say Syracuse.
That's what I'm assuming.
I have a feeling
their line of reasoning would be.
It's what it should be.
That's not who. That's what I'm assuming is they're saying who is more desperate to win this game versus not just getting to a bowl, but for this game in particular. Is my guess.
Okay. Let me I didn't realize my screen was all wonky here.
Not that I buy into that at all. By the way, we're gonna wipe the floor with Georgia. I just want to get to 7-5. Okay.
Right.
Georgia Tech, there are these things called rivalries, guys.
Yeah, heard of them.
And one of Georgia's biggest rivals happens to be the 2-time defending national champion.
He means Georgia Tech.
Georgia
Yeah,
Bulldogs.
I knew
They
it
play
was
them in
coming
the
up.
final week of the regular season.
Ain't that just fun?
Let's just say, for sake of argument, Georgia Tech loses that game.
Mm-hmm.
They will have really hoped they have won this upcoming game against Syracuse because they are 5-5. To become bowl eligible, you need to be at least 500. And then there are some cases where a 5-7 team will get in because there aren't enough 500 teams. But you want to be 500.
That's just embarrassing. 5-7 going to a bowl game. They shouldn't have that.
And you don't.
I mean, you have to, I guess, with the math, but that's just like.
I feel bad for the years
They're very fixated on what qualifies you for a bowl.
when the 6-6 team doesn't get in there.
I know,
Go to a
right?
Division II school and get the championship out of there and get one of those guys.
But then, so here's the thing: Georgia Tech.
Honestly, why not?
I would bet you Georgia Tech is saying we need to win this game. There is no other option.
It's not about betting. That is the reality of it. Tech needs this game more than Syracuse.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I mean, this is the way most people are thinking.
Okay.
Except for me.
You have to win this game. And
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Syracuse would have to go in with the mindset of, we also have to win this game, even though we know we have another opponent that we are even with, if not better than, coming up in Week 13.
Who do you think's better between Wake and Syracuse?
God, I have no idea, dude. Both of them have only like one conference win, I think. So,
yeah.
If I had to guess, I would probably say Wake.
I would too, but I haven't seen much of either of them.
I haven't either. The only Wake game I've seen is the one they played us.
Yeah.
And a little bit of them versus like Virginia Tech or something, but I was sure hoping they were a better team so that win would look better, but they're terrible.
I know. Yeah, and they took us down to the wire.
They're like 4-6, I think. So they're probably gonna miss a bowl.
Damn.
What does Yellow Jacket Nation want us to know, Brendan?
Yellow Jacket Nation wants you to know their offense is one of the best in the ACC. They are, as I turn the page here, 4th in scoring in the conference, 32 points per game. 6th in passing, which is middle of the pack, but you like to have a balanced offense, and when you have almost 200 yards rushing and 250 yards passing per game,
it's pretty good.
You take it. What they also want you to know, though, is that they turn the ball over. And their turnover margin is basically even, but because of that, it really correlates to the fact they're kind of an average team. They're 5-5. Their quarterback, Haynes King, tied for the most interceptions thrown in the nation.
Wow.
Now that I did not know. I did not know that. Buzz with the $5 Super Chat says,
bad.
Please listen to all of it. When they mention the spread, it kills me when they say Georgia Tech is only favored because it's in Atlanta. Well, does that not go in? Does home field advantage not matter? I think it does. But, yeah, it's not good that Haynes King is tied for most picks. I think, what is he? He has 14 now. 14 on 24 touchdowns.
Yeah. And those are all from, like, one game. Like I said, he like, spirals.
We had 3 against Bowling Green, and then he had 4 against Clemson. So half of them are in 2 games.
Exactly. They all come from the same. Otherwise, if we have a good performance, like a good offensive performance in a game, Haynes King will throw it. Will turn it over 1 or 0 times.
Yeah, they're really stuck on the turnover margin. Let's see.
With a quarterback at Colorado State. I'm blanking on his name because it's not relevant to Syracuse right now because he's out west and they're never going to play them unless it's in a bowl game. Haynes King also has 30 total touchdowns, though, so we can beat you in the air, he can beat you on the ground, but he's going to throw you a couple, and Syracuse just has to make sure that they corral him and have him. We saw Jaden Bellamy with a pick. We see Justin Barron all over the place every game. I'm surprised that he hasn't had more turnovers than he has already.
I would say the club on his arm probably plays a role.
It does, but like after having that on your arm for a while, like you get.
Who is that?
It's funny they're talking about these players. Like I have no idea who they're talking about. Who are you people?
Well, the other thing is they're assuming they can cover our wide receivers, and I'm not sold on that. They think that again, I said this in my preview. If they think they're going to do us like Clemson did defensively,
it's not happening.
Which is what it sounds like they think.
It's not happening.
Used to it, and you see guys make.
What was that?
Hate to burst these guys' bubbles.
Yeah, like if you think you're going to pick Haynes King off 4 times, no, he's probably going to throw 4 touchdowns.
Catches, like even with the club. Defensively is where Georgia Tech also struggles, though. Those turnovers put their defense in it is good for Syracuse. Georgia Tech, last in the ACC in stopping the run. I think.
Well, they're not just last in the ACC; they're last in the nation.
You guys know where I think you guys know where I'm leaning if I have to pick this game this week.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we want you in on it.
Second to last in giving up points and third to last in passing. I wouldn't expect Syracuse to pass the ball in this game. They'll pass it more. I think they had 8 attempts against Pitt, right?
Dude, okay. Now, in order to run it on us, you have to dominate us on the line of scrimmage, and you have to have you have to have a good running back. I don't know about their situation, but are they?
They've got a good running back. Yeah.
Are they really going to be able to push us around? Because, I mean, Virginia, didn't throw it on us. I mean, every time they did, they turned it over. So it's like, they had to run, and then we stopped it. So if we know you're going to run and you're not going to pass, we will stop you. You have to be like Clemson to just run it down our throats and us not be able to stop you. If we know for a fact you're going to run, we will stop you.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, if we know you can't throw, that kind of helps out how bad our run defense is. We just pin our ears back.
We guarded, or we defended the run well against Miami, and we knew what they were doing. So, right?
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I don't see how this is much different. If they only threw, I mean, they basically, this is like playing a Paul Johnson team at this point, except without the genius of Paul Johnson.
Right.
All right.
Something like that, but that was a mix of different people throwing
let's
the ball.
throw
They
it.
might have only had 5.
Yeah, I don't know, but guys to watch on the defensive side, I'll go with their safety core. They really have 3 guys that'll be on the field most of the time. Jalen King, Clayton Powell, Lee are 2 on the notes, and then I was looking deeper into it on Tuesday afternoon. LaMiles Brooks is actually their other technical starting safety. They have a third safety in there that'll play in the box, or maybe they just play shell. So those safeties are going to have to run the alley for Georgia Tech to try and stop the run. If they can't, and Syracuse can block them all up, I don't know what else you can say. Syracuse should be able to run the ball on Georgia Tech again.
Okay.
Well,
You think they're going to just you think so? It sounds like they think they're going to run for about 250 plus.
I think these guys need to get a perspective. I mean, have they watched Syracuse play this year? I mean, have they watched Georgia Tech play? I don't know.
Let's see. What are they even ranked in run offense? They're 6th in the ACC. They average 176 yards on the ground. All right.
I like that because, our strength is their weaknesses and back and forth. So, our defense, as long as the offense go out there and, run the ball efficiently, we'll be good. We'll be all right. Defense will do their stuff. They've been doing their stuff.
So they're not worried about Tech's offense, I guess.
Defense will do their stuff. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, they'll do their stuff all right. Jeez, man.
If I remember right, they're ranked like 70-something in run offense, too. They're ranked like 70, 80th in defensive stats. Like, they really... Yeah. They kind of think highly of their ability to just stop the number like 20 offense in the country.
Look, I get that you're going to focus... Well, I mean, their idea of previewing the Tech offense is, they turn it over a lot. We're going to get turnovers, and that'll be how we stop them on, how we stop their offense.
What if you can't stop our run?
Exactly.
I mean, there's a lot of questions.
We are good at running the ball, and Haynes King is also good at passing the ball when he's on,
and running the ball.
Exactly, which he could do more, but that's another story.
All right, a few more minutes.
All year, it's just the offense, really, honestly.
I like to imagine that Dino, Jason Beck, whoever truly had a hand in coming up with that game plan, and like we mentioned, they threw it all out there.
Yeah.
They said
against Pitt.
We're going to try anything, we don't care, and we're going to see if it works. Do you think that type of confidence that game created for...
I'm sorry. I don't think it's confidence. I think it's desperation.
Desperation.
That kind of confidence to run a wide receiver to hand the ball off to your quarterback, who, by the way, fumbled on that play, just so happened to recover. Tech's the only one with a turnover issue, though.
Man, that's rough.
Them. Do you think that game has an impact on the coaches more than we realize because they're feeling a little bit more free with what they can do?
Well, it has an impact on the coaches, like mental institution impact, that they feel that they have to do that. That they're trying to spin this. This guy should work for a president as like their spin doctor.
This guy is this guy more delusional than Touchdown Tim?
We need to hook them up. Touchdown Tim, I think, would own this guy.
Does Miami play Syracuse at all next year or something?
You know what? They might. I'd have to look.
This is like, man, this is like hard to listen. I mean, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, we beat North Carolina and Miami.
You can tell these guys just don't really know a lot about tech and haven't watched a lot of tech football.
Well, it doesn't sound like they know a lot about Syracuse either. If they think, I mean, if they think, running all of this weirdo nonsense doo-doo shit, do you think that gives confidence to everybody?
They got the ball. It's balls, man, because it worked. It's because it worked against Pitt.
Man, these guys are the ops, man. Let's see what else I got to say.
I think the coaches are happy with the game plan, but to sustain that and continue with that, that's gonna be something hard,
right?
And knowing that your quarterback has a injury with his shoulder, I mean, yeah, we could run the ball and suck them up, get the safeties all down, bring them all the way down to the box because they know we're going to run the ball and then throw over top them. But again, we have to be able to throw.
With who? All of them
throw
continue.
The ball over top of them.
So you need to have somewhat of a threat.
Yeah, you got to have somewhat of a threat. And I mean, and I think we have the skill set to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, name the guy that's going to do it. Is it Del Rio, who's your backup that you're so confident in you're running wide receivers and running backs at quarterbacks? Who's this mythical unicorn player that's going to throw over the top on us?
Do we have the skill set to actually throw the ball? That's going to be – so I think they're going to be practicing that a lot this past week, this week coming up.
I like the idea. I was going to say, it's about time for that because I know hope is not a strategy, but I'm feeling, dare I say, a little hopeful right now.
Okay.
Especially after –
Yeah, we're going –
It's a dangerous thing. Don't do it, lady.
Yeah.
I'm warning you.
We're going
– dangerous thing.
Yeah. That's going to be quickly beaten out of their fan base come Saturday. Dare I say, feel a little hopeful. Our quarterback can't throw more than 10 yards. We're going to run 99% of the time, and I think that's good.
Don't do it. Don't do
it.
it.
It's Brendan's stat about their defense that is making me feel like, okay, if they have a hard time stopping the run, then this could be an interesting matchup. This could maybe work. I agree with what you've been saying. I think you have to implement some kind of.
I mean, I'm just a little bit hopeful. Okay, I don't know. Dare I say, they suck at run stuff, and we do weirdo run stuff. Boy, really glad for your input, ma'am. Thank you for those pearls of wisdom.
She's like John Madden input. Got to score more points than the other team, and you're gonna be looking at a victory.
Yeah.
Got to play well on offense, but you got to play good on defense too.
And don't forget about special teams. Can't fall asleep there.
No, you can forget about special teams.
Like, just to keep the other team honest, whoever the opponent is, that's it. Like, enough that it keeps you on your toes. What are we doing? How are we setting up here? I feel like if it's just run, at some point, I do think they'll stop the run. So very interested to see what new things they come out with. But I feel I'm ready for picks at this point in time.
Okay. You want to fire away?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I do feel like Syracuse showed me enough that I'm ready to bet on them again this week. I'm really
well. Whatever money you do have, ma'am, be prepared to be separated from it really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're going to run a lot, so we might have to pass some. Is her analysis?
They're not going to be able to stop. What? Do they have some kind of good defense or something?
No.
So
again, they did all this non-gimmicky stuff against Pitt, and it worked.
I would like to hear them. So I get it; they're high coming off of a win. I would like to hear what they had to say about like the Pitt game going into it. Like they're coming off of how many straight losses and
5.
They're terrible, and I would like to hear what they were saying at that time.
Yeah, they had 5 straight losses. They catch what could be the worst team in the ACC. And now they're like, we're good.
Well, I think since Syracuse beat them, they're confirmed worst team. But, yeah, it's like...
Please say this is a unanimous pick.
Just because you have one good game doesn't mean... Now, you think you're going to go into a night game on the road. And, I mean, I guess I get it if people don't take Bobby Dodd seriously as a home... I guess I get that, okay?
I could see some teams thinking that. I couldn't see Syracuse thinking that.
But, I mean, it's different this year. Like, we do have a home field advantage, and especially at night. I mean, I don't know. And it's like, I don't know. Let's see what they say.
Interested to see what they're going to come out with offensively. I think that if Georgia Tech has a hard time stopping the run, they're not doing well stopping the run against ACC opponents, and Syracuse runs the ball a lot, that is a recipe for potential success. I'm going to go – does anybody know what the spread is on this game?
6.5 Brendan has. 6.5 in Georgia Tech's favor.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what smart people think.
These New Yorkers, man, they don't know ball. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, now this is her rethinking everything she just said.
That I will say that line is most likely Georgia Tech is playing at home. They've also
it's got nothing to do with Syracuse 5 straight losses. Their only ACC win is against Pitt. Don't have shit to do with that.
How are these people like? If I lost 5 straight games, I'd be like, man, we suck. This is the end of the world. We're gonna lose every game.
I know.
How are they? And they, I just don't get how they're so high, or they think they've turned a corner or something on.
God, I hope their team feels this way. I hope their team thinks just like this panel.
These freaking New Yorkers, man.
These New York cities.
Going 4-3 in the ACC. They've had a little more success in conference than Syracuse has this season.
Yeah, that is true.
All right. Despite that, I feel like I may end up regretting this.
Just set that aside. Not to worry about that. Go ahead, man.
I'm just gonna do it anyway. I'm still gonna go with a 30-21.
Wow. Okay.
Game, which I know it's.
So they're gonna beat us by 2 scores.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Look at this guy's face. He's like, "Oh my God, how do I defend this?" He's looking at his pen.
Man.
Seems like a lot of points being put up there, but I am going to go with that anyway.
Okay, she's holding her pen in her right hand.
Edward would talk circles around this lady. I mean, with his football knowledge.
Well, I can imagine a few things Edward would say about this lady that we won't say on this show.
Not Touchdown Tim. Touchdown Tim would be all over that.
Oh, Touchdown Tim would be like, "You're my favorite Syracuse fan." Speaking of fans, do you have an OnlyFans?
We need to get her in some Touchdown Tim gear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She would look good in it. By the way, I'm going to check tomorrow. Our shirts could be here.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah, he messaged me and said that they were on the way.
Now, how funny would it be if now instead of a large and a medium, he sends us an extra large and a small?
That would be epic.
That would be a great troll. I would respect it.
T-shirt guy's an idiot. I'm going to tear him a new one. I would just wear it, whatever. I couldn't fit into a large store.
Cut the sides off of it.
I look like a ham, but I can fit. I'd be like, "Thanks, Tim. This is great."
Well, the thing that's tough is there's no elasticity whatsoever. It's basically like a burlap sack.
Well, I know you were talking about how it was low quality.
And I would expect nothing less. And they're about this color, too.
Oh, man.
I'm going to go Syracuse winning this game 30-21.
Okay. James Mungro.
You said 30-21, you said.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to make sure that stupid thing you just said really represents your thoughts.
Yes, 30-21.
Oh, jeez.
I say
He now look. Never. I'm not going to say that.
I think honestly, Syracuse scored some points. They're going to run the ball, so I think they're going to be able to score. I think Georgia Tech will be able to score too as well. So I think it's going to be a little bit close. I like your score, but I think it's going to be closer, like more like 30 to 28.
30 to 28. Who wins?
Syracuse.
Syracuse wins.
How did I know this was going to end up being unanimous?
Man. How about the cover of 3 podcast unanimously picking the under 4.5 wins for Georgia Tech? Fat L. Fat cover 3 L.
What are they now? Unanimous dumbasses.
Yeah. Give me a break, dude. All of them took it. I couldn't believe my ears. And then they had the audacity to say, guys, and I know if you're listening, like, we usually don't do that. Like, we are not a show that just takes the under on bad teams and takes the over on good teams. We don't do that. So that makes it worse.
You know who took that bet? Tantor did, and he's about to cash out on it.
I should have hedged my bet a little bit, but I was so confident we were going to make a bowl. I didn't think it'd be this close, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
I thought there was a possibility of us going into Syracuse needing a bowl, and it's a good thing that they kind of suck, so we are likely to get to win it.
Yeah, you wouldn't know listening to them, but yeah.
Because Syracuse, you know, if they were better, this would be scary. But they suck so bad. I feel confident in our ability to win.
Are you worried at all, Sea-Dog?
Of course I'm worried, but I mean...
No, not at all, boy.
Not at all, boy. No, of course I am. I mean, look, I'm not lying. Now, I know that I didn't have a meltdown the likes of the Northern Illinois game because I was at the game. But that Bowling Green loss did a number on me. I'm not joking. Like, it did. I said it did permanent damage. I wasn't joking.
You know,
I'm traumatized.
You know what I think that did to us? It was like at the beginning of Twister when that F5 killed her dad, and then she was always a little off from it.
Right, of course. Yeah, that's a movie I've seen.
That's a miracle.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this guy's pick is.
Brendan, are you ready?
Yeah, man, I'm ready. I'm taking Syracuse to win, too. I'm going to say it's going to be a bit lower scoring, though, just because like we've seen some explosive run plays, but for the most part, it's 3-4 yards a pop. We wouldn't get the explosives till later in the game, like the Valari run.
Right.
There were big ones towards the end of the game that really broke it open. I'll say it's more of like a 20-17 Syracuse win. I just think they're going to grind out the clock and not give Georgia Tech enough time. I do think turnovers play a big part in this game.
Yes.
If Syracuse can get a couple early ones and get the lead, they won't have to score as much.
I mean, these jackasses act like they don't turn the ball over. You know, in turnover margin, I think we're ranked the same.
I don't know what team these people have been watching all year.
Like, they act like this is the... I'm going to comment and be like, put your money on it then. I mean, if you guys are so confident, I mean, are y'all putting money on it?
Unanimous.
Because they're already running the ball as well as they are.
Well, for me, at this point, because I needed to hear you, Hodges, there, I'm looking out for the SU fan base. I'm looking out for the community here because everyone knows when you're watching the panel before a game and everyone comes up with the same logo, that's considered the ultimate jinx for your team. If every single person on the panel, all the analysts are picking your team, I'm going Georgia Tech here, 24-21.
They all have the under though, and I 100% would take the over at 53.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, he let them dig their own graves with their dumbass opinions, and he came in to save the day.
How's that good for the Syracuse fans?
Because
I know what you mean.
Because I'm going against them. Because when it's a clean slate, it's just it's kind of.
Oh, never mind. He's saying I'm just picking this so it won't be unanimous.
I knew we were gonna watch this and be like, these jackasses are gonna make it freaking unanimous, just to prove us wrong.
I mean, they're not at all worried about Tech's offense. This is bizarre.
Kiss of death.
Yeah.
We've done it to them.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy who also he changed his score the day after the podcast from 12-10 to 15-10 and lost against the spread.
We don't.
I know.
Well, if you would have picked against them for 5 weeks in a row leading up to Pitt, you'd be a wealthy person right now, wouldn't you?
This is unique. I'm actually happy that you're picking this because I feel like most of the time, us three at this table are picking the same, who at least who we think is going to win.
Right.
So this is an opportunity for one of us to kind of get ahead here.
Right, exactly.
On our picks.
A little bit of
You don't need to worry
separation.
about getting ahead. Sam is already
Honestly,
way ahead.
I changed.
Because he's the one that picks against Syracuse. That'd be why he's ahead. I don't think we need to listen to any more, but we got their
That's
picks.
pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
Should we leave a comment?
These people are not realistic.
Let's say, let's just say, don't know how you're not at all worried about Tech's offense. 1 win after 5 losses. Y'all think?
And they're not and they think they're not worried about the home field advantage too. They're like, oh, the line's just that way because of the home field advantage, and yeah, they think they're gonna go in here at night and get a win. I just don't.
There we go. Buzz with a $10. Appreciate it, buddy. Says, I was nice in the comments, but it made me irritated. We scored 40 plus on UNC, and you think we'll score less than 20? It's a good point. These guys have to be paid for this, and they can't say anything bad against Syracuse unless they admit they're doing it just to do it.
Really? Is that the situation? I mean,
Well, that's what the last guy said.
Really?
He said he was picking against them just because.
I thought they were just fans. Do these people work for the? Are they like the beat writers or whatever?
I don't know. Oh, there's FaceTech. He said, as a Tech fan and content creator, it will be an interesting and fun game. I believe Syracuse will have problems stopping our all-around offense, and Tech won't be able to stop the run game. With that, I got Tech 31-27. Great video.
Nicer than I would have been.
Yeah, I said 1 win after 5 losses. Y'all think you're world beaters. That's what I said.
Yeah, when I call out stupidity when I see it. In fact, speaking of that, our buddy Elijah Winfrey is coming to this game. Now, I don't know if you remember me telling you about him.
I talked about him earlier, yeah.
Oh, you did? So you saw that?
I saw his Twitter post. I think he's possibly commented before as well, right?
No, I don't know if publicly I have been, or I think I've talked about it on live streams before, but I have been critical of his unique opinions. But I do feel bad for the guy losing his grandfather, because I actually am a fan because of my grandfather too. So,
oh yeah,
I know how that is. But yeah, that guy is apparently coming down from Detroit to be at the game to see his first Georgia Tech game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have a feeling he'll be glad that we didn't hire a high school coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, man, I know you got a lot going on. I'm now sweating, and my voice is starting to run out, so we'll probably end the
you're
show
sick.
here.
My wife's sick, too. She's been sick for a couple of days. There must be something going around.
But I'll tell you this. If I am down and out before the game, I am willing to smoke crack to get there and be present. And it won't be easy, or it won't be hard to find in downtown Atlanta.
I was gonna say, like, you're it's right around the area. There's probably don't have to go far at all.
No. Sorry, go ahead. You're saying your wife.
Yeah, my wife's. I was just saying my wife's sick too. There must be something going around.
There is, man.
Yeah.
The avian flu or something. I took some Tamiflu, and I think that helped. I had it from last year, and it hadn't expired yet.
Tamiflu.
Yeah, Tamiflu, if you show basically within 2 days of you showing symptoms, if you start taking it, it will make it where you don't go through the worst of it.
You mean like Theraflu?
It's called Tamiflu.
Let's see.
I'm not budging off this hill.
Never heard of Tamiflu, but I've heard of Theraflu. My wife makes me take that crap when I get sick, and I hate it. It's horrible.
Buzz with the $5 says their channel says they have all access to Syracuse sports, so I'm sure they get paid by someone for doing those videos. Yeah, they probably do. Probably not for doing the videos.
Yes.
They probably get paid as like what Bryce did, kind of. Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Bryce will come on here and tell us how bad we suck and how horrible we are. So, I mean, he has no problem doing that. So I don't know why these people feel a need to pump sunshine to the Syracuse, the dying Syracuse.
Bryce should have gone to Syracuse and set these guys straight.
He needs to set them straight. Dude,
Y'all need to hit up Bryce's Discord and say you need to go talk to your Syracuse colleagues.
Yeah, you need to lay it. You need to put them in their place. They think they're coming up into Bobby Dodd Stadium at 8:00 p.m. and beating us and stopping our offense. And
they think that line just has to do with it's a home game. First of all, there'll be maybe 3 Syracuse fans there. They don't travel.
And they were talking about taking the top off, like, of our defense. Like, I just don't.
When their quarterback can't throw more than 10 yards.
I could honestly see us kicking their ass. Like we put up 40 and they put up maybe 20 or something.
If we blow them out, we will blow up their comment section.
I mean, we could absolutely kick their ass. I 100% believe we can. They have a disastrous of a quarterback situation as
How did you do that? You quit that, dude. This is like when you're married, you have one side of the bed, okay? And that's it. What are you doing, dude? I'm the left side. I can't believe you would do that, dude. We've ridden hours together, going to different places. That'd be like me just shutting my eyes when you're in the passenger seat and then you're driving. It's equally as jarring to me.
I do a little trolling.
Yeah, I felt I've been hoodwinked. You hoodwinked me.
I do a little trolling.
All right, guys, that's the show. I appreciate everyone for the super chats. Again, thank you, T Branch, for the donation, and thank all of you for showing up tonight. I will be at the game. Sea-Dog will be at the game. The Buzzsaw will be at the game. It's going to be a great time. Unofficial whiteout. Hope to see you guys there. And if no one's told you, you know what it is. WreckTalk loves you. Y'all have a good one.